The first time I listened to underground hip hop was 2017. I used to be the type of person to listen to whatever was on Rap Caviar. I was a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, Travis Scott, and Future. But that year, one artist really stood out to me, and it was XXXTentacion. Though you wouldn't really say he was really underground as he was popping off, he was a big reason to why a lot of kids my age used to be on SoundCloud. And one of the first songs I've ever heard from him was the song. And I remember thinking to myself that this didn't sound like anything I've ever heard before. The rawness, authenticity, and belonging that came with being part of something that everybody wasn't. And that's something the mainstream doesn't always give you. Sometimes the mainstream often feels more manufactured. It feels like an assembly line. But the underground is something that anyone can do. And to me, that's what made it so special. So after all that, all I do was go on SoundCloud to listen to some leaks, find some new artists, and tune into Adam22's No Jumper to find the next artist that would give me the same feeling that X did. And that's when I realized this underground shit, it's pretty fucking real. But I kept asking myself, why exactly do we love it so much? Is it because we like the music, or is it something even deeper? You can see yourself in these artists. They're not polished, manufactured, or backed by multi-million-dollar corporations. Oftentimes, they're just kids your age on BandLab trying to figure things out by having fun. Think of it like this. We love the versions of our favorite artists before the labels get to them. Think of Prime Yeet as the most notable example. Yeet had me screaming, "Where the problem at? I'm spinning on these perks like I'm a laundromat." And Yeet had me having those little dots on each of the letters I'd send to my friends. I used to be a really annoying Yeet fan, but I loved it. I felt connected to the people who would also do it, and Yeet was my favorite artist. But now, a lot of fans are turning on him in this new direction that he's taking. Last year, I listened to Blood's Rascal 51, and that project completely blew my mind. It was something that hasn't been done before. The sound was new, creative, and didn't follow a formula. The fact that it was so polarizing and so new had me really intrigued on what direction Blood was going to take. And for me, that's where the real art comes in. It's when you give artists the liberty and time to write about what they want instead of what a label wants them to. The underground today is so beautiful because kids are finally getting out of their shells. Things are becoming so experimental, and to me, that's great. We're finally pushing the needle on how things are and how things should be. And this goes back to my next point. The underground breeds community and belonging. Look at any of Chase fans, Bloods fans, or Kuru's fans. You'd often see that they develop some sort of relationships with their favorite artists, whether it be buying merch, identifying their childhood, or going to their shows and psyching the fuck out. And you might make the argument that other fan bases have this cultish allure to them. But the thing with the underground is that these artists are way more accessible than these superstars. It's also very comforting to see people who like the same thing you like. I feel like a lot of the kids who listen to underground music tend to feel isolated around the communities that they're in. Mention Kuru or Lucy Bedrock around your regular friend group, and you might have people looking at you like you're talking a different language. But when you talk to people online about it, it suddenly feels a lot smaller. Going to their shows with the 50 other people in your city that love their music just feels refreshing. I remember going to my first underground set in 2024. Osamason in Thailand. DJ Renacy was playing Love Hate by Save Your Soul Bass, and I immediately felt seen. I found my people loving the same things that I loved and going through the same experiences that I did. But what happens when your favorite underground rapper suddenly becomes mainstream? And the person that made you feel so niche suddenly becomes the next trend on TikTok. I first felt this when Yeet was coming up. My first song ever from Yeet was Sorry About That. The way he delivered his words, rapped, wore turbans, and flowed on the beats felt hypnotic. Yeet was somebody completely new that I could get behind, and seeing him get bigger and bigger, working with Filthy and getting that first lyrical Lemonade placement was something that I felt so happy to see. Fast forward to today, and Yeet is unrecognizable, and sometimes that is a good thing. But a lot of fans, including me, miss the feeling of Yeet being our favorite artist in the world. But this begs the question more on the fan than the artist. Does becoming mainstream diminish how you view their art? And I think it's this tension that makes underground hip hop so special. Even if an artist eventually changes or blows up, those early records, that raw energy, and that feeling of finding something that actually represented you, those things and feelings, they still matter. They stay with people. So maybe we don't love underground hip hop because it stays underground. Maybe we love it because it creates the things that we look back on in the future. Sounds, memes, photos, and communities all get lost to time, but we remember these things with fondness. And even when an underground artist makes it to the mainstream or completely disappears, what we had with those artists never goes away.
Hey, what the problem, man? I'm spinning on these perks like I'm a laundromat.